Today, it's a happy Friday here where I am. Hope you're having a happy Friday too. I just had a amazing evening last night with my beloved wife of 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. Oh my gosh, it went by too fast. Like we were joking about it last night, and we were just like, what just happened? Right? Like, how did that go by so fast? Maybe some of you that have had similar experiences of being with someone 20 plus years know what I'm talking about, or have kids, and you know how quickly that time with kids can be. Um, we were just noticing this mother struggling the other day at the playground with her looked like 1 year old, and we were just like, like reminiscing of our time when we would be in that same state, where you're just like, I just changed another diaper, the kid's whining, maybe crapped his pants again, or hungry and just needy, and you're just like, want just like your own space a little bit. Could see that in this mother, and we were just like, oh man, it's such a trip, right? Because like when you're in it, you're really in it, and there's no space to almost self-reflect and look at the beauty and the importance of that time of having that young tender little one. And it's so similar. It's like I remember an old timer used to say, like, the days are long and years go by quick. And I think um, that's been my case with being married for 20 years. If you want to see more about it, you can look at a social media post I put on Instagram and Facebook, so you can read more about it there. With pictures, of course, of me when I was really young, and my wife at our wedding, just beautiful stuff. And anyway, it's just I'm so blessed to have the partner I do have. She's amazing, and I'm so grateful. Give me a thumbs up if you're grateful for your life and you're grateful for your partner or your loved one or your spouse or kid that you have. It's important to remember that. So why I'm bringing all this up is because last night when we were going out to dinner, celebrating our anniversary, it was beautiful. We were at this incredible restaurant, and the waiter asked us, they gave us a complimentary drink, and they asked us, this one waiter asked me, he said, could you tell me, he was a little bit younger, maybe in his early 30s, and he was like, tell me, what is the one gem you could tell me? And my wife went first, and you could tell she was really in deep reflection. And she said very beautifully, be willing to forgive. And I thought that was so true on so many levels. Um, if you are going to go deep with anything in your life, if it's a spouse, if it's a child, if it's your healing journey, you're not going to go very far if your heart is not in a place where it's willing to be flexible. And what I mean by flexible is being willing to have some hard things happen to you, have some hard things said to you, maybe done to you, and recognize that it's an opportunity to not go into states of contraction and fear and doubt and blame and pointing. I mean, you can do all that. We've done that. But you can instead take the high road, the pivot road. And remember, we're all fucking human here, guys. We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Believe me, I'm probably the most imperfect human you'll meet. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, right. No, like I bumble and fumble through life in sometimes a ridiculous manner. But the thing is, I laugh at myself about it and I make fun of myself about it. And so it's that kind of lightheartedness that's real. And can you extend that also to somebody else that has harmed you? Your partner, your loved one, your uh, maybe your best friend, maybe it's your coworker. And yes, I am human and I made a mistake too. Yes, I love that. Thank you for saying that. Give yourself a thumbs up on that one. It's okay. I think there's this perception, guys, that we all have to be perfect. You know, we go into institutions, schooling, secondary schooling, academia, university, and then sometimes into the workplace, corporate workplace, or whatever. You know, maybe it's an athletic team, and you kind of develop this sense that, like, I have to be perfect. I have to be the only one to get this right, or it's all on my shoulders, or, you know, it's like this intense pressure that we put on ourselves. And if you can just give yourself the space and mercy to recognize you're gonna fuck up, you're gonna mess up. I mean, really, you and everyone around you is going to. I remember when my son was young and is my oldest son, and you know, he would have spill his drink, you know, like on the table, and or knock his plate over or whatever it was, and you could just look at him, look at us with like this look like, oh shit, like now I'm gonna get it. And it was such a great moment at that time to be like, it's okay, bud. We all make mistakes, right? That was just a mistake. It's okay. And then he would just, he used to just get into this habit. His shoulders would shrug up and he'd be like, it's okay. It's a mistake. You know, it's a mistake. It's okay. You know? And I think if we carry that a little bit more in our day and in our hearts, then we'll be that much more likely to forgive somebody when they've done us wrong, when they've crossed paths with us in a way where, you know, where it's hurt, right? There's hurt there. Someone asked, define perfect. Oh, geez. I think perfect is this kind of false sense of self, right? That clearly comes from an egoic tendency to be, you know, like like what we see on the magazines or what we see on the reels or what we see, you know, like this facade of what is actually not real. And I think that's one of the healthy things that's coming out in social media now is people are calling it out. They're like, no, that's not real. You have these Instagram influencers that have millions of followers, and then you find out they're like horribly depressed and they end up taking their life, or they end up going into rehab because of incredible addiction. Let's get real. You know, that's the fakeness here or in our world is just a mask. And when we come to understanding, like I'm looking at a tree right now, like a tree doesn't grow straight perfectly, right? There's always a little jag here, a little bit there, maybe sometimes a big one, right? Or another branch needs to come out. Like we're no different. The growth rings of our life show us that we're imperfect. We're not going to meet every situation with 100%. We are going to have moments when we're amazing, and then we're going to have moments when we're not so amazing, and that's okay. You know, that is life. And we can come to a truth and acceptance of what really is. then, um, then, I think that's real with a capital R. So hopefully that answers your question. Um, yeah, so why I'm bringing this up in the context, of course, it's always great to bring this forward into our lives, into all our relationships. But more importantly, those of us that are sick, those of us that suffer a lot every day, that have a hard time dealing with the stress, anxiety in our life, guess what? There's parts of you in there that need to be forgiven. There's parts of you that are still holding in this expectation that they have to be perfect, or they have to be incredible, or they have to be rigorous with how they study or do something. So what do we do with that? That is really what I wanted to speak to today, is if you are planning to use mind-body medicine, medicine that comes from the heart, that heals profoundly, more so than any external medicine, because you are the medicine. That's right. That's the name of my group. Make sure you join it. It's a free community. We call it You Are the Medicine, because the medicine lies deep in your heart. And when you get this, your life changes. You transform in incredible ways. So make sure you check out You Are the Medicine. I'll put a link in the description and in the chat later. Forgiveness, guys, is so huge. I didn't understand this really till much later on my own healing journey. It's massive, massive. By the way, if you're tuning in live, thank you, hello. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because this channel is really devoted to helping you walk through the fakeness that we all create, the perfectness that we think we are. And it allows us to come back to what's real here in the heart. And that is the seed of where medicine, healing, and transformation lies. And I think when I sit with people, I talk to a lot of people every day, clients, prospective clients, students. The thing at the bottom line, what people want is transformation. They want change. It's amazing to me how many people will say, I just want my cancer to go away, or I just want my diabetes to go away. I just want my MS to go away, get my life back. And I've even used that as a tagline on my marketing. However, once we get through a process where their symptoms start going, like changing, that's not it, guys. That's only the beginning. The big change that they want is attracting in that person they've been wanting their whole life, or generating an abundance inside them so they can go out and be an entrepreneur and take risks and feel the freedom of their day to organize it however they want to. Or it's just being willing to, I don't know, like I'm thinking of a client, like take over their system of everyday habits. So they are now wanting to become a prolific athlete, a marathon runner, right? To challenge themselves in that way. Before they were on the bed, but that wasn't it. It wasn't the fatigue that was the block, even though it seemed like it. It was the lesser than thought programming that they've been carrying that didn't allow them to believe in themselves that they could do some of the most challenging things. So, why is forgiveness so important? Forgiveness is naturally our God given ability to extend love to somebody else. And through the process of extending our love to somebody, guess what? As we project that out to somebody in the world, we create a magnet of reciprocity that comes back to us. Because we are vibration, we are energy, like we talk a lot about on this channel. And so if I'm vibrating and I'm feeling, you know what, my fellow brother, I get you were coming from a lower nature and the things you just said to me really hurt, but it's okay. I understand you were stressed out. You're in a difficult place in life. I'm going to extend a little bit more mercy and love to you and say, it's okay, bro. I forgive you. By doing that, I immediately raise myself, the cells in my body, the neural pathways in my brain, the hormones pumping through my system, and the chi, the energy, the field of energy I'm creating in that moment is high level frequency. And I'm extending that to somebody else. And guess what? That will just mirror back to me. So I get more of that energy. I get more of that up-leveledness inside myself. You know what it feels like to give somebody an unexpected gift. Like last night when we were at our celebration dinner, I could feel it felt really good for the waiter to offer this free drink to me. And when I came to tip him, I gave him a very handsome tip, and it felt good for me to be generous, to give to my fellow brother there that's working hard and did a great job of service. So I'm going to give a little bit more for that. Even though that might hurt my bank account a little bit, it lifted my heart up higher to extend that to them. Forgiveness is the same way. When you give forgiveness to, again, someone that has done you wrong, or a part of you that's still struggling. Maybe you have this part. I had this part on my healing journey where I would get so angry and upset that like my body was not changing. I was doing all the right things. I was eating right. I was dieting right. I was herbal medicine, homeopathic medicine, you name it, everything. I was doing my Qigong practice daily. But that needle of change wasn't budging. I was still essentially showing up and my numbers were the same. My symptoms were the same. So frustrating, right? How many of you felt that frustration? Give me a like if you know what I'm talking about and say it in the comments. Because I know there's many of us that have experienced that. So that's a part of me, just like that friend over there. What I need to do is allow myself some space to connect with that part of me that's frustrated, that's angry, that's upset that things aren't changing, and go, you know what, buddy? I just want you to know it's okay that you feel that way. I'm sorry things aren't changing. And it's going to be okay. Like, and I forgive you for feeling that way. Like, you are not wrong by doing so. And even though it does affect my system, I'm going to extend that forgiveness to that part. And guess what happens? Just like it did to my friend over there, it causes my whole body system to relax, to let go. What a mercy to give somebody that, especially yourself. And as you do that, what happens is it's like when we're sick, it's like the whole body, the energy body and the physical body does this. The bones tighten up together, they shorten, the tissues shorten, inflammation comes in, the energy field closes in, the energy channels close up. But when you extend forgiveness in the way I'm just talking, what happens is it allows more space. Woo! Just as I'm doing that, I can feel that in my heart. It's like there's an opening, there's a spaciousness, and my field opens back up again. My energy channels open back up again. The free flow of energy is happening again. Why did that happen? It happened because I utilized the power of forgiveness. And as you continue and you get healthier and more vibrant and your energy system's more open, you'll see the power of forgiveness in your own evolution, your own reaching higher levels of energy, higher states of consciousness. Because again, it goes back to frequency. If you're still resentful, if you're still bitter, if you're still holding on to some grudge or grievance in your heart, you're not going to be able to evolve very far. So forgive it. Forgive that person that did you wrong. Forgive yourself for getting so upset about it. And through the process, you clean that from your field. And as I said at the beginning, it's extending that love out to more and more people. And that, my friends, is what's going to heal not just you, but heal our planet. Is us loving each other more and more. This is a time of great division, a great divide, Kali Yuga. There's so much that is happening, and we need to remember to come back to our hearts. We need to remember to love ourselves first and love our fellow brothers and sisters. And I think of Jesus's famous quote when he was literally going to be crucified, when he was literally going to be murdered. He knew this, and what did he say? He said, "Forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they are doing." The ultimate gangster forgiveness. Mind blown, right? You're getting murdered, and in the process, you are forgiving your murderer. Think about that, guys. That's a high, high state to be in. That is why he was an example of the living Christ. And that is why he would emanate profound levels of healing energy. Some that I don't think any other human being has attained since then. Maybe a few, but not publicly like him. So, what can you do today or in the next day where you can let go, where you can forgive somebody close to you that has hurt you? Family member, friend, spouse, child, mother, father, doctor, whatever. That's the first part. The second part is find a part of you here, in here, that either feels shamed, guilt-ridden, or hurt, where you can extend forgiveness to them too. And here's the most important part. Once you've done that, take the time to feel the effect it has over your system. And if you do it correctly, you should feel an elevation, a levity come over your heart and your body, like you just released I don't know, like last year's tax returns, something heavy, thick that's been in your space that you just let go. This is what forgiveness can do. If you're wanting to play and learn and really practice this more, I highly recommend first you subscribe to this channel, you like this video, and you share it with somebody you love, that you love dearly, that you think could really benefit hearing this. But also, I want to invite you to my community, my free community, You Are the Medicine, where there is so many trainings, so many interviews, workshops, recordings, and live streams like this, where I get to work with you one-on-one, openly, to help you release some of the things you've been carrying so you can come back to that place of forgiveness inside yourself. If you want to know more, I'll put it down below in the comments so you can join. Till then, have a blessed rest of your Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend ahead. Enjoy yourself, enjoy your family, get out in nature, and just have a great time. Be you, okay? Be real, be you, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.